my channel. So today I am going to be doing another portfolio review. So for today's portfolio review, I have Robert with me. Robert is a very talented designer. I've had the pleasure of teaching him at DLD Academy, and he just has this very unique and modern style of design that I think will captivate so many of you guys. So I can't wait to introduce you guys to Robert and also to walk through his portfolio together. Tell us a little bit about what you've been up to and what type of design work you've been doing, so we can just get a feel for what you're all about.
Well, I'm a graphic designer. I primarily have worked in entertainment and lifestyle, but I've always really wanted to kind of make the transition into fashion. That's like where I really want to be. I feel like that's where I belong. This year has been really, really crazy. I was unemployed for most of the year, but I used a lot of that time to kind of really reflect on what am I doing with my life, and is design actually for me? Because it just really is hard being rejected so many times, and it's hard to not take it personally, even though it's we are living in a really rough time right now. Fortunately, started to get some more freelance work. I've always wanted to kind of run my own business doing design, basically why I took DLD Academy in the first place, because
Right.
I could learn a lot, and I did. But yeah, so it was kind of nice being able to dip my toe into that pool of being a freelancer kind of more full-time. But right now I'm I just got a full-time role working at a women's e-commerce brand. So
Yay.
really good. I'm finally kind of actually getting real experience working in fashion. I think eventually I still want to be a freelancer full-time and kind of run my own business. But I think for now I want to kind of gain more experience working in the industry that I want to be in.
I think what's really unique about your style of design, I'm sure you guys are going to see it too once you guys see Robert's portfolio, but your designs really can appeal to the male and female demographics, in my opinion, which is the amazing part about your work. What is this gold dust thing? This is amazing.
That's kind of funny you asked, because it's one of one of the default textures that they offer you, because I built my portfolio site through Wix. I know a lot of designers use Squarespace, but for me, I already built websites on Wix in high school, so I was just more familiar with it. So I just well, I'm just gonna stick to what I know. But honestly, I feel most people I know use Squarespace.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like Squarespace is the kind of like the Apple or something of
Yeah.
portfolio design.
Yeah.
I'm also one of those weirdos that actually never use Squarespace.
Oh.
But not to call you a weirdo or anything.
No,
But,
no, that's fine. I feel like it's very standard.
it is very standard,
Yeah.
and it's very easy. It's especially if you don't know much about coding or anything. It's very user friendly, so you can just drag and reformat everything.
Fun fact, right before the pandemic, I was in the middle of trying to execute what I wanted to do for my landing page, but then because of the pandemic, I didn't really get to.
Right.
So I was gonna film a bunch of B-roll and from projects and photo shoots that I've done, since I also do photography, and I was gonna stitch together a video and just have that in the background. But
that would be dope for sure.
Eventually.
Also, just I've seen your logo before from the DLD Academy, and I just want to talk about how beautiful it is, honestly.
Oh, thank you.
It's so it's so unique. And I, even as far as I know I should be getting started with the portfolio review, but I guess your logo is part of your portfolio. So I love how all the edges have such a different feel. So I'm sure it was done intentionally, but the edges here, you added this little I want to call it a serif, but it's
it essentially is.
Essentially. And these ones in the middle, the diamond shape doesn't have it, and it's just so beautiful, and it feels like this maze. It almost reminds me of Westworld or something. I don't know.
I love that show.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Definitely inspired by Fenty Beauty and a lot of other editorial fashion brands. I did a lot of research on that kind of stuff, so that's kind of the feel I was going for.
Totally getting it. Very fashion. All right, so enough talking. Let's get started. So we're gonna start off by going through your design portfolio. Wow. Okay, this is a nice touch. I love the red. And I think what's also so unique about your brand is most people that I talk to, done portfolio reviews with, they always tend to gravitate more towards the pastel, kind of like that type of aesthetic. But you're like going for gold texture, going red, like rich tones. I'm in love, like so fabulous. Yeah. So walk me through some of your projects right now and let me know like is this in chronological order? Is this in the order of like you're most proud to least proud? Like, how does it go?
Yeah, I know we talked about it even when I was in design school. They talk about like the order you put your projects
Yeah.
in. For me, I've always kind of struggled with that. I don't necessarily know if there's like a really concrete reason why I put the projects in the
Hmm.
order that I did, but I know for sure I put the three projects that I usually show people first at the top. So the
Okay.
first three are usually the ones I show at like job interviews and stuff like that. And so I guess in a way, yeah, it's like the top row, then the middle row, then the bottom row. So
Okay.
I
Sounds
guess in
good.
a way, but I don't think I prefer one over the other in terms of each
Okay. Sounds good. Let's get started with the Eightfold project then.
row.
Okay. So, ooh, this is really cool.
Thanks.
Did
Yeah, I shot that photo. So
you know it's real? They actually made a neon sign after.
yeah, they did. It's in the shop. It's in the store.
That is so sick. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited. So, Eightfold Tea Shop. Humbly nestled in the suburbs of Costa Mesa, California, Eightfold Tea Shop provides itself in serving authentic tea. Named after the Eightfold Path, the Buddhist path towards enlightenment, Eightfold's visual identity, color usage, and imagery strive to capture the same essence. Wow, beautifully written. One thing I would maybe love to see is I know you mentioned doing branding and print, but just maybe like one more sentence, just being like, I was brought on to create the logo or like just like a little sentence that gives
Hmm.
a like a basic blurb of what you do.
Hmm.
um I mean, I'm so interested in this project. Okay. So are these like not mock-ups, these are like real?
Yeah, all of these photos I shot them, so they're all real.
And they actually have cups printed with your designs on them. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
And one of the later photos you can see I actually illustrated the cups too. So it's like the on the business
Gosh.
card, the business card
Yeah.
has like those designs. Like I use a lot of those similar illustrations on the back of the cups too.
Wow. And okay, I'm starting to realize that with your, I think the unique thing about your logo designs is they have this like very fun and like geometry, and like there's a lot of shapes, and like even with your own logo, it's like enclosed in these like beautiful diamonds and squares, and I I love that about your work, is it's so fun to look at.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. So even the menu, like basically everything you designed, right?
Yes, that's
That's
correct.
incredible. I think I would love to see just in the description. I think this is going to blow people away because oftentimes when designers are a little bit afraid to state what exactly they were brought on to do for this
Hmm.
business, they feel like it's not good enough or they didn't participate enough. But in your case, it's like the complete opposite, where you should be flexing so hard that you were brought on to, like, you should literally write like from start to finish, like I was in charge of not only creating the logo, like kind of spell it out for them, because
Okay.
sometimes people might not understand what all of branding means. And I would actually also include packaging here
Oh, okay.
next to print, because it is like food packaging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Yeah. So that's definitely something you should include. Like you gotta flex those designer muscles, you know what I mean?
All
Yeah,
right.
I love this photo too. Like I thought it was a mock-up for sure, but it's even more impressive knowing that it's not. And maybe in the future I would consider replacing the thumbnail photo in the portfolio header, or what am I saying? The
Like the
thumbnail
main
photo,
page.
like
Yeah.
main photo, and then maybe putting like the name, just because it's a beautiful photo.
Okay. Yeah, I actually have like a photo of the neon sign, but like from head on.
Yeah,
That.
sure. Definitely try it out.
Okay.
So love. I think this one's definitely a really strong piece of work, and you should definitely have it in the front.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
okay, so the next thing is AT&T CFP Fan Bowl. In January 2020 in New Orleans, AT&T kicked off the college football playoffs national championship with the AT&T Fan Bowl. As the junior designer on
Wasserman's.
Wasserman's creative team, we collaborated on ways to bring fans closer to each other with shareable moments and push AT&T's sponsorship footprint to the next level. Oh, I love that. The end result, 25K direct engagements, 207-meter potential reach for million, sorry, meter, 500K live stream viewers, and a heck of a kickoff. That's incredible. I love that you went straight to the results and you're like, this is what we achieved. So what were you brought on to do this as their junior designer?
So I helped design, like actually designing all of the assets. So when I worked at Wasserman, that was the previous agency I was at.
Yeah.
It was a lot of experiential design, and I primarily worked on our AT&T sponsorships team. So
Gotcha.
every time AT&T pairs up with another brand or anything, like we are basically brought on to kind of design it from head to toe.
Right,
So yeah,
right.
like all of the walls, like all of that, all of these graphics, like I helped design.
That's
Um,
incredible.
yeah.
So like basically like a full-on installation.
Yeah, it was an event. And if you scroll down, like it'll have some of the pictures and stuff.
Wow. And did you also participate in like the marketing assets and like basically just everything?
Not so much the marketing, more so the actual like experiential
Got it.
activation.
Got it. Oh, this is so cool. I think what's really interesting about this work is it's so different from the other work that we were just looking at.
I know.
Yeah, it's like wow, but I definitely again like the typography usage. I know you tend to lean towards like the bold sans serif kind of font.
Yeah.
And I definitely see like hints of you and also like the line quality. But that's really interesting. Oh my God, there's more. Okay. Wait, did you do the video editing too?
I did not do the video, but this
Oh,
is the
okay.
sizzle reel that we came out with.
Oh wow, this is insane.
Yeah, it was a big event. It was just like right in the beginning of
Wow.
2020. So this is
Oh,
pre-pandemic, immediately
I can
pre-pandemic.
tell when people were allowed to hug and yeah, what are events anymore?
I know.
Oh my gosh. How did it feel to like see your work in such a big, like blown up environment?
Um, at Wasserman, that's pretty much like all we did was
Mhm.
experiential design, and that was really out of my comfort zone. Up until I worked there, I wasn't really familiar with that.
Right.
So I feel like this one was like towards the end of my time there, so I was like used to it already.
Hmm.
And honestly, like at agencies, it's very just like you're like juggling projects all at once, and like especially as a junior designer, there's like a lot of expectations, and definitely there are multiple times where I like definitely drop the ball on some things. That's just like a part of the process.
Of
I
course.
definitely like learned a lot working there, but yeah, I think by this project I was a lot more familiar and like confident
Mhm.
in myself as the designer. But yeah, coming into this role, I was very overwhelmed. I was like, I don't know if like this is for me. Like,
Oh my
a
gosh, I can
lot.
only imagine. And I don't know if you are, but like I'm not a sports person at all. So I feel
Oh
like that
no,
is so
not me at all. So yeah.
your sport is dance.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. And was it blue and white because of the AT&T colors? Okay.
Yes. So we were very familiar with AT&T's brand guide because like even though it's a sponsorship and they're partnering with other
Yeah.
people, typically AT&T's brand is like the main one. They're like, we own
Right.
this event.
Wow. I'm impressed by this. I think okay, so far my thoughts are very interesting pieces of work, but I think what's really cool is you actually had really big roles to play in both projects. So I think I always am always pushing my students and just designers in general to put work in the top of your portfolio that you've actually done a lot like for or as part of, because you don't want to do like a tiny little bit of something and then try to push that to the top, because it's just like, okay, like
Yeah.
what did you really do,
Yeah.
Okay, and I think I remember this piece actually from back when you were with DLD Academy, but walk us through the queer Asian social club too.
Yeah, of course. So this is another freelance role that I played in. So it's originally the organization was known as the Gaysian Project.
Love.
And it was basically like a collective or an organization where we wanted to foster and empower like the queer Asian community through like visibility.
Hmm.
And our form of visibility was not just like events, but also like merchandise, and just like
Oh,
as queer Asians being able to sell queer Asian merchandise, and like have
yeah,
that part of our identity, and
of course.
that in that way we can be really visible, if we just say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so uh so I kind of explained it before, but I reached out to them originally because of DLD Academy. Yeah.
Right.
So it was like the first assignment we had, and we were supposed to like cold email people. So
Yeah.
this is one of the organizations like cold emailed, and I'm now friends with I guess like the founder of the organization. So
Oh my
we kind of got
God.
acquainted, and then like way later after DLD Academy was over, she like reached out to me. She's like, "Hey, we're like doing a rebrand. I was wondering if you'd be interested in like helping us with that." So yeah, that's kind of how I landed this project. It was really fun. The brand identity definitely came a really long way from like the original
Hmm.
concept. It was way different, but I can say for a fact that we both parties are like a lot more satisfied with this end result than like the
It's
original concept.
beautiful. I know you posted this piece back in our like DLD Academy group after you completed this project, and I remember thinking like the logo, honestly, it has Robert written all over it in a good way, because like designers should have their own color, And I also feel like if this were to be on like a sweatshirt or some kind of merchandise, like I would buy.
It's
Very good.
pretty, right?
Yeah, it's really pretty. And I feel like it captures like even it's a lotus, right?
Yeah,
Flower.
it's a lotus.
It's like the Asian, like I don't know. I'm feeling it. Like I think it was such a good representation. And even as far as these like subtle patterns that you created as the backgrounds, like it it just adds a whole nother layer to it instead of just leaving it a solid color. So that was a really nice touch as well.
Thank you. Yeah.
Wow.
This project I was planning to build more of I forget what it's called, but I was gonna add more to this project on my website. But again, this was like right before the pandemic started, so like
Mhm.
there's no events anymore and all that fun stuff. So
Right, right.
eventually I'll come back and add more to it. But so for
Yeah,
now, it's just like the branding elements.
I yeah, it's great. Wow. I mean, I am so happy that, you reaching out to the founder ended up with such a happy ending. Like you guys became friends, like you ended up redoing their branding. And I think that's just incredible. And it just also goes to show how you really like most people in this day and age, they're just literally one cold email or one call away. And it's just a matter of like really finding what you're passionate about and then reaching out to the right people to get projects like these.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely like it was so out of my comfort zone though. I was just like, oh, this is so weird. Like, I
I
feel like
know.
I'm bothering people. But I mean, hey, like, I definitely emailed like more than a couple people, but like only a few, got back to me, like a small few. So
Right.
it's just like it is like a numbers game at some point. Even when this like applies to like interviews and stuff too. It's
For
just like,
sure.
yeah.
And it's not to like again, like I think that's what really like taught me too in not even during COVID, but like before that too. I was like, wow, like you have to be pretty thick skinned if you want to go into like freelance design because like you said, like criticism, like sometimes it's hard not to take things personally, but you just need to be able to like separate those two and also like just being able to like hit up random people or when random people hit you up and being able to go on face-to-face calls like these and being able to like sell yourself and explain yourself, it doesn't, I mean, I'm sure for some people it just comes so naturally, but
Yeah.
for most people it's hard. And maybe it's because I don't know if you feel this way, but maybe because I'm Asian, like I grew up a little bit feeling like I can't like stand out too much or whatever, but
No, yeah.
obviously like I don't think that way anymore. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was hard to get out of the comfort zone.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel you on
Yeah.
that. I can really empathize.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I love. Okay, so the top three are amazing. And wow, I didn't even realize you had such a wow. Okay, you have so many projects. Okay. Sorry, I'm like excited. I'm overwhelmed. Ooh, the AMAs developed and expanded across multiple social media platforms. The graphics curated were used by celebrities and superfans. Awesome. So you were doing like social media designs for them?
Yeah, so this was purely like digital and social. Um,
Right.
this was actually like one of my first jobs I worked, and I was still in college at the time. So
Oh, wow.
I was like going to Cal Poly Pomona, and then I would like commute all the way out to Santa Monica for this internship, and then I'd go back. It was a lot, but definitely worth it for sure. Worth the 2 hours each way. Yeah.
I mean, I would have been, dude, like if I'm thinking back to like the kind of internships I was doing in college, this would have been so fun and exciting to just like design. I
Yeah.
just like doing, I don't know, just doing stuff for like an actual award ceremony that you actually know about and people actually talk about. That's pretty incredible. Is this
Yeah,
a
definitely.
mock-up or is this
This
like
is a mock-up. This one's a
okay?
mock-up. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Like you have a nice setup going.
I wish. I wish.
Yeah. No, it looks great. Wow. Okay, so I think one thing that I will say is you have a great sense of layout, and I think it also has to do with maybe your interest in going into fashion, but also your background from working at different agencies and stuff. I know a lot of it, I'm sure what you have to do there is just be really organized and be able to tell a whole story and what a project is. And I think like I feel like you just get that, like you understand how a overall project is supposed to flow in terms of like a portfolio format. And I love actually how you write your descriptions. And yeah, it's very easy to read, it's not overwhelming, it's just the right amount of verbiage. Okay, so I also remember the Game Boy one from back at DLD Academy, but I think you like redid the portfolio for it, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
after DLD Academy, I actually worked on my website a lot. So
Mm.
from the first time you've seen it till now, it's probably definitely a little different.
Yeah,
Yeah. I've like
definitely much better, like much clean, more professional. It's
yeah, I
yeah.
agree. No, and kind of building off what you just said about like having like like I have like a sense of like layout and
Mm,
organization that definitely wasn't like overnight. Like I had to work on it. Like
of course.
portfolios are like always like a work in progress, like I'm sure you know.
Oh, for
I feel
sure.
like every designer can agree, but yeah, like compared to like how my website first looked, even yeah, from when you saw it like back like a year or so ago, like it's
Yeah,
come a long way.
it really looks great. And I'm like almost like out of words because I don't have, I feel like I should be like giving more like criticism or something, but there's really nothing for me to like say. So, I mean, one thing maybe I can point out for the different pieces is for
Mhm.
the works that are actually not like mock projects and like real brands or whatever, maybe it's a good idea to include their website at the bottom or like a
Oh,
little
okay.
maybe what I do for the DLD.studio website is at the very end, I make a little image footer and then I just say like, thanks for, viewing my work. Click here if you want to go visit blah, blah, blah's website. Um,
Oh,
that's like a
okay.
nice little touch if you were to want to promote them.
Yeah.
Um, but other than that, I mean, the layout is incredible. I mean, wow, Robert, I'm so familiar right now.
That's a very nice compliment.
Yeah.
So this project is definitely one of those projects where I need to go back
Mm,
and fix it and add stuff because I haven't really touched this project in a really long time.
Got
And
it.
since then, I've actually already like updated the logo for this project.
Oh, got it.
So I
Okay.
went back because I designed this logo a long time ago. I was like
Right.
a sophomore in undergrad. So
Yeah.
definitely like my designs have come a long way. But I'm still proud of it because we did do merchandising and stuff like that. And
Oh,
it's near and dear to me because this is like how I got my roots from like starting to dance. So this is the key
right,
that I
right.
learned how to dance on.
Did you
So
take all the photos too?
I took some of the photos, but
Oh,
not all of them.
wow.
But
Okay.
these, like the main ones, like the
Yeah.
hero images, I did take.
Wow. I like
Um,
this.
Thanks.
But I do want to see what it looks like now after you updated it.
If you go back on the main page, that
Mhm.
I updated the icon for the project, so this is what it looks like
Ooh,
now.
okay. So it's a little bit more like refined looking than the other one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Okay. So can't wait to see the updated version for the actual portfolio. And honestly, Robert, like I feel like you have a really solid top like six pieces of work. I think that you're like, I don't know, just the colors, the vibrant images, and especially like if you were to down the road like update some of the like remember like we were talking about like maybe putting the neon one in here and
Mm.
even if you don't though it's just so nice to look at. One thing I will point out from my earlier like I guess mistakes is I feel like maybe consider making this icon clickable so that it takes you back to the home page or the landing page.
Because I actually that button is clickable. It just takes you to this page. Yeah,
Oh, okay. And then the other, the landing page is just like a entry.
yeah. Because
Okay,
originally I did have that clickable back to the landing page,
right,
but
right.
I got some feedbacks from people saying like, oh, it should take you back to the design page because that's
That's
your
true.
main
Because
thing.
people are gonna want to look at like the different works that you have.
Yeah,
Yeah. Ooh. Wait, did you take all these photos too? And
yeah,
edit them?
yes. So
Hi, Alex.
yeah, I do like photography for fun.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is like just to showcase some of the work that I did because like I work as a graphic designer and most graphic design roles don't really require you to have photography skills, but a lot of the times they say it's a plus. So
It's
I
a
just
plus.
have it on here because like I'm showcasing that I have those skills as well. But
Yes.
also I just like I'm very proud of some of these, so
That's
it's just nice
awesome.
to
And
showcase it.
I know you were saying most designers aren't required to have photography skills, and I agree with you. But when you go into like the freelancing world, having photography skills is a huge plus because a if you actually know how to take the photos, then you can take photos for them and then edit and create designs for clients too. So it becomes like an add-on service.
Yeah.
And in my case, obviously, I'm nowhere near your level of photography skill, but after designing some of the projects I for different clients, I would like take my camera and try to take some nice photos of them. And then when I would showcase them onto my portfolio or social media, and I would always like try to tag them or send them the photos, they end up using a lot of the content that you take for them. So it
Mm.
becomes like good for your exposure and other people find out about your work. So yeah, I definitely agree with you that it is a huge plus to be able to do different types of art. Wow. Did you like help with like the setup and the overall like the spaces and stuff too?
No, so these are sets. I before the pandemic, I was going to like these group photo shoots. So it's
Mhm.
like a small group, and it's just like if we do it, they did it like every month or twice a month. And
Yeah.
if you were interested, you could sign up and you like pitch in. So
Yeah.
like we can like rotate with different models and different sets, and it's mostly for people to just kind of like play around and like
Yeah.
experiment, or like if you want to build out your portfolio, like this is a good way to work with a lot of different environments and like not break your wallet.
Right.
So
I
yeah, and it
I
yeah.
love that. And I feel like you have great social skills, I feel like. So I guess like for some people, I know it's really hard to go out to these types of meetups or creative kind of mixers and
Yeah.
to know others and create stuff together. But it is a very important skill to have as a designer, I think.
Yeah, I definitely, one of the things that I realized once I graduated school, you kind of
Yeah,
like leaving that bubble, and I was like,
right.
damn, I really did not take advantage of the fact that like I just had all of these peers and like connections that I could have just like made or took
Hey,
advantage of. And I didn't, I really didn't. I like wasn't even thinking about that.
me
So when I
too.
graduated and I moved to LA, it took a while for me to move, but when I finally did, I was like, I realized that I was like, oh, I need to like meet people and like that's the whole like how I feel like that's how you really thrive in a creative role. It's just like putting yourself out there and like meeting a bunch of other people and like
Right.
not just like meeting people superficially, but like genuinely want to meet other people that are like-minded or
Exactly.
kind of share a lot of like creative values and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
for
I feel
sure.
like there was a point in time like I was really like making the effort. I went to a lot of different like networking events and like queer networking events and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it's a great skill to have. And yeah, like same during college, I didn't like socialize that much with like the art kids in my art program. Like I was just busy partying and like
oh yeah,
having
no, that
fun.
was me too.
Yeah. Granted, I mean, I actually some friends that I made through like partying back in school. Some of them happen to be doing stuff in the creative field, and like I'll like get in touch with them here and there. But I agree, like I really do wish that I could go back in time and actually make a few more meaningful connections with some of the art kids that I had in my classes. Maybe talk to a couple more of my professors. I definitely took that for
Yeah,
granted.
yeah, I'm on the same boat.
Yeah. Wow. Wait, so did you bring like a prism for this? And
Yeah, so I borrowed a friend's prism, and I shot all of these photos with it, and then I ended up getting my own after this because I
nice.
really liked it.
I think this is also how I can see that you definitely have like an eye for fashion and just editorial in general. I think just being able to, whether it's on your computer or on a camera, being able to frame things the right way and capture like a subject, like it's really important when it comes to pushing yourself as someone that has that kind of like an eye for layout. Okay, okay. I'm gonna go look at your bio now because that is another important aspect of your portfolio. Oh, I love. Did you illustrate this?
Yeah, I drew it.
Oh my God, you're so talented. Wow.
You're too
Okay.
nice.
Ravishing Robert. Robert is a creative who firmly believes in the power of design as an instrument for change. In his eyes, design is an amazing opportunity to shed light on stories that have yet to be told with a penchant for sleek editorial fashion and modern aesthetics. There we go. He strives to create elevated work that simultaneously captivates and educates. I love that. You should consider offering copywriting as your service.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't. Is that like a thing people do?
Yeah, yeah, dude. Like I know people who get paid a lot to do copywriting and especially like for things like I don't know, like crisis management or something. Like I heard you get paid like hundreds an
Interesting.
hour. Yeah. Um,
Oh,
so if you
I never even.
ever have a client that's like going through some kind of a struggle or something, you can be like, hey, I can help you write a great ass apology. And we also designed that graphic for you. Yeah.
Interesting. I've never even considered that, but
Mhm.
yeah, I'll look into that.
Yeah, also coming from like an advertising, like an agency perspective, I think that gives you a lot of agency to be able to offer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. Is this part of Wix too? How things like animate and the parallax and all these like little.
Yep. Yep. It is. It's just you have to really like customize it and look into it. And like sometimes they don't work necessarily
Mhm.
the way you want them to. So like it takes a lot. Sometimes it takes like a lot of finagling and you want to
Yeah,
pull your hair out. But once you do it, it looks really good.
yeah, it looks great. Nice. So you do have a contact form. I think also consider putting in your email at the top,
Hmm.
just like just as backup because something that I don't know if this happens with your website, but recently DLD Studios contact form has been doing some apparently some people are having trouble like submitting their
Oh.
inquiries and stuff like that. So if anyone is ever for some reason having issues or like a glitch, it is nice for them to just have an email too that they can directly reach out to you too.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. What a pleasure to honestly walk through your whole portfolio. Um, I'm blown away, honestly, Robert. Like it's come such a long way from the last time I looked at it. And I think what's amazing about it is that it's not like you like change your logo or anything. You kept your core identity, but you were still able to like create such a fun little like you really built off of what you already had. Yeah. And I think it looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing this with us today.
Yeah, thanks for going over everything with me.
Yeah.
It's always nice to like see what other people have to say, like
Right.
regardless if it's like criticisms or, you know, critiques, like anything is nice.
Sure. I feel you. Like, and honestly, like going through your portfolio, when you were talking about how it's always going to be a work in progress, like 110% relate to that because even for me, like I have so many projects right now that are so backed up that I honestly should be like uploading.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just can't get around to doing it, you know? But at the same time, I think that's a huge blessing. And because, you know, there's people out there, there are just designers who are just needing more work right now and they're craving to get more work. So it's really nice to hear that, you know, you not only have a full-time contract gig, but you're also freelancing.
It's been a really, really wild and really rough year, but I'm just like really, really blessed and grateful that like I feel like things have started to pick themselves back
Mhm.
up. And just like for me in my personal life and professional life, especially, like it was just really rough. And I really got it in my head with
Oh,
like, I don't think I should be a designer anymore. Like I talked about it a lot with Alex. And yeah,
oh,
there's a point in time where I was just like considering pursuing other things because it's just like this isn't working for me. But I don't know, life is just really crazy and really weird. So I'm just really grateful that I'm I'm not in that headspace anymore, and like
yeah.
I feel like I'm becoming myself again, and like it's showing in my work.
I think so
But
too.
yeah.
Like I trust me, like even, you know, like me and like other designers that I know that have been doing this for way longer, you definitely go through times where it's just like, what am I doing with my life? Like, am I really a designer? Like, what is
Yeah.
it? And everything just looks so bad in your eyes for some reason, and you can't get out of that headspace. But that's why I think they say like going back to what we were saying in the beginning about like I guess that's why they say you got to keep yourself busy because it really eliminates the time where you start like digging holes at nothing and trying to like make problems out of things that really aren't really there, and it propels you forward. So that's definitely what we have to do. You know, one thing I can assure you is that you definitely do have the talent. And I hope that, you know, when next time something like that comes around, which hopefully isn't for a long time or never because now you're so busy. I just remind yourself that, you know, it's okay. You have a lot of creative friends in the industry and you should keep going. Because also I've recently heard from someone that freelancers are having a great time this year or seem to, because so many full timers, you know, like 9 to 5 is not really a thing anymore for so many people. And I guess this will be the age where us freelancers like rise to the occasion. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. I really hope so. But yeah,
Yeah,
I really appreciate you hopping on the call and doing this portfolio review.
of course. Thank you, Robert. So to wrap this up, where can people find you?
Yeah, so I'm pretty consistent. My handle is at Ravishing Robert on Instagram. My website, like we went over, is ravishingrobert.com. That's like pretty much it. I
We
don't
love
really
a
use Twitter.
well-branded creative.
But yeah, I haven't been posting on my social as much this year just because of everything. It's just been a
Yeah.
lot. But I'm slowly trying to start like posting like stuff that I've worked on again and
Yeah.
stuff that I am working on because I do miss like sharing that kind of stuff. But yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Follow
well,
me if you want.
please go follow him, you guys. He's really talented and he posts some amazing dance videos too
Oh
sometimes.
yeah, I am
Oh yeah,
also a
so
dancer and
your
I
eyes
post
will
dance
be
videos.
blessed.
That too. I am a dancer.
So yeah, thanks guys for joining in on our portfolio review today. Special thanks to you, Robert. It was such a pleasure having you. Thank you guys today for tuning into another episode of my portfolio review series. I also want to give a special shout out and thanks to Robert for, sharing his beautiful portfolio with us and giving us a chance to go over it together. I think one piece of advice that I could give to Robert and also a lot of creatives out there who did relate to this conversation that we had today about just don't be afraid to reach out to people. When Robert was talking about the Gaysian project and how he just cold emailed them and was able to get in touch with the founder, and fast forwarded to, in the future, he was able to rebrand the whole project for them. There's a big lesson to be learned there, and it's a great story. With that in mind, I will leave you guys and hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the week. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed today's video, and also give Robert some love. Go follow him, guys, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.